Hey, what's going on? It's the second episode of the Puzzling Podcast. My name is Evan,
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Alex.
and today we're having a special episode. Not sure how often we're going to do this, but we're doing a Craigslist episode where essentially we read the best Craigslist ads we could find. They're called misconnections, and they're just essentially funny things that people put on Craigslist. You really got to hear them to understand what they're all about. But we're going to get down to that. But I feel like there's two things we should really talk about that's really going on in the world right now. And one of them is that Honey Boo Boo's mom is on crack. Uh, yeah, it's unfortunate. But probably the bigger story is last Monday. Today is Friday, the 29th. Last Monday, a man was died in a police-related incident. And I'll briefly go over the incident. But George Floyd, a 40-some-year-old man, was at a Chinese restaurant and he ordered some food. He paid with a counterfeit bill, allegedly, so the employees called the police on him. And this all happened in Minneapolis, if I didn't mention it. And the police came. There's a little bit of struggle getting him into the squad car. And long story short, man ended up having an officer with his knee on his neck for 7 minutes straight, and a bunch of viral videos got out about the man's death, and it's crazy. There's a lot of rioting going on now because it's 5 days later, and people are just all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
It's just crazy. Like the protest. I would expect more protests and all the rioting and stuff, but I don't know what to say about all of it. It's just terrible.
There's a lot of looting going on right now, specifically at the grocery stores. I'm sure you'll put some short footage over this part of a looted grocery store by the name of Cub Food,
Yeah.
and
I'll see if I can find any
it's
more too.
Hello.
right. It's a pretty big mess right now. They had to call in the National Guard today. They got a curfew going on there. People aren't allowed to be out past 8. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, I've seen rioting and stuff before, but like not. I guess maybe not as much coverage about it. Alex, what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
It's just sad that this is happening in our modern day society. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, it was a tragedy in and of itself when the man died, but and protesting was to be expected. But
It's just a sad situation.
yeah, but the looting and the destruction and the chaos. I saw gosh, a car appliance store got burnt to the ground or something like that.
Was it like a tall building?
Oh, I don't know. It was we have one in town here. It's a gosh, it's kind of the brownish building with the red text over it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Car
Like
but
tire burn?
it might have just been an auto parts store, Advanced Auto Parts maybe.
That's quite possible.
I think it was an AutoZone store, I believe, and I mean that's just what I'm trying to recall. I don't know for sure if that's what it was, but I remember hearing about. I mean, there's just like all kinds of destruction going on, not even related to the thing. Honestly, any destruction related or not related is probably unwarranted. It's not justifying anything. It doesn't change anything.
I don't know if you guys have seen some of the fires, but here's one I thought you were talking about out there. That's like literally a full building on fire.
Yeah, like what? That looks like that's like a. That's definitely not a precinct building, which is what you'd expect people to be targeting in all this. Police buildings. This looks like it's an office building or maybe a apartment complex of some sort. I mean, there's no. This doesn't do anything for the man who was killed. It doesn't do anything that brings justice to the or brings the cops to justice rather that was involved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unwarranted and unnecessary, and it's kind of honestly it's kind of savagery, something you would hear about back in the 1500s or something.
The thing about that fire, if you think about it, I can understand they're angry and doing this to like say something to cops, but now they're involving firemen and all the grocery store workers who have to clean up the mess that they make when they write and stuff. They're bringing like pain to everybody in the community now, if you think about it.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessary to bring up the fact that this involves a lot of the black community, but a large portion of Minneapolis and Minnesota is black, and I think those protest members are making it very personal. What happened? I honestly myself think it was just I think that the officer was a bad officer and could have done it to anyone. I don't personally think it was a race thing. I'm not saying it was or wasn't murder. I'm just saying I think he would have done it to anyone in that situation. But regardless, it's not. I shouldn't make it this topic about a race thing or not. It's just a bad situation. It wouldn't matter what community was doing this or not. It just is a bad situation.
Yeah.
It is. It's just a terrible situation.
But this is a fun episode. We're gonna do some Craigslist readings. Let everyone know what it's all about. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
It's a fun podcast. We're here to have some fun, so let's have some fun.
We are having some fun.
Yes.
So I have.
Okay, let's do this.
I have. Okay, let's say how many people we picked out. At least 3 each with a couple backups in case anyone had some layover. We're gonna take turns. That way, if I have the 3 that Alex has, he can at least read a couple of them before I get to all mine. But I'd like to read all of mine because I have a couple in here. I have like 3 normalish ones, and I have 2 really short ones that are pretty funny. So we're gonna go through here and read them, and then just kind of react to them. They're fun. All right. So who wants to go first? Anyone have one that they really want to read right away?
I think I have one. That's really good.
Okay.
Yes. You'll have to tell us the title of it, and then just go into it.
Hey, are you ready for this?
Yes.
I will send the link through Discord.
All right.
Okay, so this is called "Your Dick Pic Cured My Breast Cancer."
What?
Oh, great.
Are we ready to dive into this one?
I'm ready to dive into this one.
Always, yes.
Oh, this is a big one.
I met you in the cafeteria about a week ago at the University of Chicago Medical Center. We struck up a conversation about chemotherapy and insurance premiums. You spoke of your ailment of having Crohn's disease, and I spoke of my battle with breast cancer. You were slightly taller than me and had a sleeve arm tattoo, which I admitted liking. While we were talking, I began to tear up while informing you of my prognosis was elevated to stage 3, and that stage 4 means terminal. You were very attractive and held my hand as I explained my fears about it. As the conversation moved towards the weather and where we each respectively parked, you advised me to park in a different garage, one that I wasn't aware of that was closer. Here, give me your number, you said to me. I'll text you what it looks like. Without hesitations, I did, and really only with the expectation that I wouldn't have to walk so far. It's not good to be on chemo and walking in the hot weather. As we parted in ways and left for the day, I got home and assumed you forgot to text me. However, as I set my phone down on my counter, suddenly it vibrated to the unknown number's text. When I opened up the text in my condo, which that's a typo, which had dim lighting at that time, saw beautiful rod appear on my phone screen.
Oh,
The
great.
glow shined on my face and penetrated my spirit.
Oh God.
I really felt it changed me. Even though you had not shared your name previously, I knew the dong I was viewing had belonged to you because I had recognized your hand holding up the miniature Coca-Cola bottle next to it.
Yeah, that's not what it said.
I'm censoring it just a little bit.
It's what you said.
Trust me, it's all right. Here we go. We're still going more. Oh boy. Stripping down from my clothes, I was elated to see 4 more pictures as I began to do what any woman would do and self-enjoy them. Following the pictures, you also texted me lines over the duration of the next few hours. She was in a bathtub. I'm going to skip over that part just a little bit. Censoring it just a
You
little.
want me to read it for you, Alex?
No,
You want me to
no.
read that bit for you? I don't want
It's
anyone to
fine.
get confused.
I'm just censoring just a little bit. Gotta censor just a little
Here,
bit.
I'll give any listeners a idea what's happening. The woman is in the bathtub. She is pleasing herself, and the person is sending her text messages. Go on, Alex. Read the text messages.
Hey, you there? Yo, what up? Did you like? Hey, want more?
What more?
Hey, it's me. How? And the letters R and U.
How are you?
Exactly. Okay. After finishing gratuitous sessions of various climaxes to the sounds of saxophone in the background, I decided to light a cigarette and write about the occurrence in my diary.
You shouldn't smoke when you have cancer.
How I would respond to your commute. I don't know how to say that word. Admittedly, I had also taken a deluxe gigantic shit known as a DGS while I was writing, and my phone fell into the toilet. The next day, I took it to Apple, and they refused to touch it and said it was impossible to access your number. And unfortunately, by the time I got a new phone with my same number, your text had stopped. Sad face. I was preparing to get over you. It was just yesterday that I came into the hospital for another round of chemo. Still very sad. our saga had come to an end because of my phone falling into the toilet bowl filled with white poop and pee. That's when my doctor came in, shortly after drawing up my blood and feeling my today's.
Just the way they spelled that, dude.
I enjoy how they spelled that. Catching me completely by surprise. With what he told me next. You don't have breast cancer anymore. You are cured. Please see Sheila at the desk who can validate your parking, and call if you have a headache. Grabbing his arm as he began to walk out of the room. I just had to be sure. What did you say? Your breast cancer is totally cured, judging by the tests we've done in our fancy medical equipment and group of Asian people in the labs, who are looking at tubes and stuff. We can find no more blast cells in your boobies. You don't have cancer anymore. You are now perfectly healthy.
I just like how that's in quotes, like he actually said this.
You almost sound like Joe Swanson from Family Guy. Or Kronk, if you're more familiar. Like, you were, like, right there for a second.
That's impossible. I was stage 3 last week, I told him. The only thing that's changed was that a man dick pics on my phone.
Who
It was
says
here
that?
my doctor put his hand on my shoulder and gave it to me straight. That was not a man. That was an angel. My lady. And oftentimes God sends an angel to do that because he knows what makes us happy.
Oh my god.
At this moment, another doctor chimed in from the background. Hi, I'm a professional doctor. Of cancer, cool, and he's right. You see, your phone gives off a tiny amount of radiation, and when you glance at those pictures, they, in a sense, deliver a lethal dose of it to your cancer, and it killed it completely. Forever, the pictures of a penis provides the exact amount of radiation needed to do the peach hue emitter by the phone's screen. What's more, since we at the hospital note that we cannot take credit for curing you, we are destroying all of your existence medical debt. Please see Sheila at the desk who can validate your parking and call if you have a headache.
What?
As I left the hospital and cried tears of joy all the way to my car, abruptly those tears became tears of sorrow and loss when I reached the parking garage because it reminded me of you. Plus, I forgot to see Sheila at the desk who apparently was able to validate my parking. I still have not heard from you, and I do hope you get my message back because I owe you my life. Please write me here or text me if you still have my number. You are my hero and guardian angel. I love you. Sincerely, Diane.
Bravo, that was a good one.
That's
I was thinking at the beginning, what if this ends with her being cured of cancer? I mean, there's no way that's real. Part of that's gotta be fake. There's no
No.
way.
There's no way that that's real.
I don't think a doctor would say we have Asians in the back looking at tubes and stuff.
I love that.
I feel like the first half could have been plausible, but then the second half was just completely out there.
It's just
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that bit. The plus, I forgot to see Sheila at the desk, who apparently was able to validate my parking. That's funny.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay.
Caleb, would you like to go next, or would you like me to?
You go next.
All right, let me see which one I want to follow it up with. Okay, these are all good. I want to read them all. Should I read a short one or a normal-sized one?
It's up to you.
Okay,
Why not do a short and a normal? I don't know.
I'll do this one first. It's not the greatest follow-up, but it's called "To the Girl Who Stole My Bike as a Gesture of Flirtation."
Oh, great.
There's some bike terms in here that I don't think any of us will understand, but I'm pretty sure we'll use context clues and figure it out. Okay, we all there and ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Read along. Okay. I love how well you get me. You know that the weight of my heart is through my bike, and I can only assume that you cut the chain binding my 86 Bonotto to that stop sign in East Williamsburg late Thursday night in the hopes of it starting a conversation with me. It was a really gutsy plan. "Oh, hey," you'd say as I walked up. "I was just stealing your bike." What the fuck?" I said. "I feel terrible," you'd say. And then you'd say something cute to move things along, like, "Can I make it up to you with coffee?" I totally understand where you were coming from. We all have a hard time starting a conversation with the person we have a crush on. Your plan was actually really good and clever, and I'm just so bummed that we missed each other. I can imagine how awful you felt. It's midnight in East Williamsburg, and you're standing there holding 3-foot long garden clippers and feeling very, very conspicuous. There's a busted chain pulled at your feet, and a beautiful old white Italian racing bike with blue highlights and red handlebar tape leaning up against the stop sign, and I'm nowhere in sight. You're starting to wonder whether I'm ever going to show up. Maybe I've gone to Arizona for the weekend or something. Then you realize, with a sense of dread that grows and grows the longer you wait, that you can't just leave the bike there and abandon the whole plan. Chain is well and truly cut, so the bike isn't secure anymore, and it wouldn't be all too easy for some complete and total effing asshole to walk away with it and make maybe $150 selling my most beloved possession, and possibly greatest and most trusted friend is so far in New York. If this were to happen, if this hypothetical a-hole were to walk away with my bike, which I just spent my first month here searching for and then carefully patching up and tuning, then where would all my love for the bike go? It would simply vanish. The bike would be reduced to an object of monetary value, and I would be reduced to the guy who had to find a new bike. There would be measurably less love in the world, and the hypothetical asshole who had stolen my bike would therefore be a destroyer of love. A love destroyer. You, of course, could not allow this to happen. You, of course, could not allow this to happen. The destruction of love is antithetical to your core mission in life, which is to create love, more love, for me. So you decided to take the bike for safekeeping. Thank you! I cannot express how grateful I am and how eager to finally to have our long-awaited conversation, which might honestly be a little awkward now, but will be well worth it. I've been pretty lonely in my first month in New York and kind of missing my ex-girlfriend, and frankly, I'm just really flattered that you've taken this interest in me. I can't wait to meet you and to get my bike back.
Great, that's great.
I love that.
Oh gosh, that was... All right, if you don't mind, I'm going to read one of my short ones too. Try to even it out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. This one I think I can just read out loud, but I'll link so you can at least use it in the video. All right, this is called "To My Neighbor Who I Saw Pooping in His Front Yard Yesterday. I saw you crouched down with your pants around your ankles. I asked, 'Hey, what are you doing?' Your reply was, 'Pooping in a groundhog hole.' I read about it online. It's supposed to trick the groundhog into thinking another animal has moved into its lair. Since you're normally a sane person, I refrain from calling the police."
Magical.
God.
Okay.
Thank God this man was pooping in his front yard.
It's wonderful. All right, Caleb, you're up. I'm ready, dude. I love it when you read these things.
Here we go. This one's called "To the Woman Who Danced in My Pee and Stepped on My Heart." It all took place on a rainy Saturday night. I met you at a loft part, and things were doing smashingly well. You and I played the piano together, discussed music, and all things hip until the wee hours of the morning. I don't know if you remember what happened next, but we decided to leave the party together. We strolled along the streets together, continuing our witty, drunken banter, knowing fully well that we were destined for your apartment for activities of the naughty kind. But then I had to go ahead and ruin things by taking a leak. I regret this decision, as perhaps things would have ended up differently had I not felt the urge to pee on the dirty streets of New York. At first, I was delighted he didn't seem disgusted by the call of nature, but then he did something so shocking that my sex drive went from 10 to a 2 in a matter of seconds. You danced around in my pee. Not only did you prance around in my stream of urine, you cupped your hands in the puddle of pee I just created and started splashing in it. Look, I like freaky girls, but this was a little bit too much for me to handle at 4 a.m. on a Saturday night in public, having only known you for a few hours. So I freaked out a bit as far as getting the necessary blood required to bone you was most definitely out of the question. So here I am 3 days later thinking, you know what? I'm down with pee. I'm down with your crazy pee dancing ways, so give me a wee shout out and we can recreate the moment. And I promise not to get all about it. Only this time I would appreciate a little R. Kelly music in the background for inspiration. I love you, urine dancer. Let's make this work.
Pull me closer, urine dancer. Dude, that's insane.
There are some strange people on Craigslist.
R. Kelly needs to be the thumbnail for this video.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the title's gonna be, I would appreciate a little R. Kelly music in the background.
We should do a podcast where we watch R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. It's a 34 episode story about. It's awesome. It's awesome.
R. Kelly's trapped in the closet?
Yeah. It's 34 parts. It's a story
Of R. Kelly being just trapped in the closet.
Yes. It's well. I mean, you have to see it with your own eyes to really get it.
Every episode is just him banging on a door for an hour.
Do you guys like?
Let me out.
Let me out. Do you guys like Weird Al?
Yes.
Have you heard Trapped in the Drive-Thru?
No.
I think I might have.
Okay, well, Weird Al did the parody on this song, so I mean, it's gotta be good. I mean, it's more than a song; it's really a lifestyle. You have to really commit a couple hours of your day to watch it.
Oh my god!
I haven't seen it all the way through, but it's awesome. Probably the best videos I've ever seen. All right, if you're not wanting to read another one right away, Caleb, then Alex would be up. So what we doing here?
An extremely short one, like
right.
like a sentence long one.
We haven't had any overlapping ones yet, have we?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, you guys don't really have I wouldn't even need you guys to
You should still send the link for Caleb.
I know. That's what I was about to say.
Okay,
I'm still gonna send this for the video, but this is like a sentence long.
All right.
All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Seeing you eating cat food. Seeing you eating cat food out of the can.
Wait, is that it?
You was using the fork. Looks like you got some manners. I like that.
That is a poem A+.
That's pretty good. For anyone who might listen who didn't quite understand him through his laughter, the title is "Seen You Eating Cat Food," and it goes, "Seen you eating cat food out of a can. You was using a fork. Looks like you got some manners. I like that."
That ending just, I like that.
Yeah. Short, it's so perfect.
I thought it was gonna end at "Seeing you eating cat food out of a can." I was confused. You were just trying not to laugh, and I understand why now.
That's it. Just, I seen you eating cat food out of a can. That's the whole thing.
Oh god, that was funny.
I want to know.
How many more we got? I got
one more.
I have 3 left.
I have 2 more.
Okay, I should probably read one. All right. All right, this is a good one. I did not read it all the way through. It's one of those I read the first 2 sentences and I was like, this is going to be funny.
That's what I did with the cancer lady.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is titled, "To the Guy Doing My Wife."
Oh
All right, settle. And this is a. I guess it's not that long. It's kind of got a list in it, so I'll try to number them off. But anyway, to the guy doing my wife, you know who you are. Yes, I know. No, I'm not angry. I would just ask a few things of you. After all, you are giving it to my wife. Number one, please stop leaving the seat up. I keep getting blamed, and it's starting to get old. Number two, you may be giving me a chance to go fishing more often, but please stop drinking all my beer. It is fine if you have a couple while you visit. God knows I drink plenty before I find her attractive. But please, leave me a few, as I have to be there longer than you. Number three, if you do drink the last one, buy more or leave money on the counter. I will pick some up. Number four, please replace the toilet paper when you use it all. For some reason, my 5-year-old son believes it is there. If it's not there, he does not have to wipe. We keep it under the sink, unless you can recommend a better spot. Number five, after doing my wife, please use something disposable to wipe off with. The basket of clothes on the right is mine, and the clothes are clean as my wife does not do my washing. Uh, I run out of time. I run out of time rushing to work. Last week my sweatshirt was crusty. Thanks.
Eee.
Oh.
Please
Oh.
do not tell my children that you are their uncle. They are young, not mentally challenged. Number seven, please stop turning the heat up. You pay nothing, and mud is putting it in my butt. My wife may like it, but I think it hurts.
Oh my god.
I don't really get that one, actually.
Yeah, I'm like,
You pay nothing, and mud is putting it up my butt. In my butt.
I'm just laughing at the previous one.
Oh well, we'll just ignore that one. That one wasn't funny. Anyway, number 8. When she asks, do these pants make me look fat? Say no. You may think giving a different answer will make her think twice about eating a gallon of ice cream a day, but all you're doing is giving her a reason to go buy more pants that she will look just as fat in. Stop eating the... Oh, sorry. Number 9. Stop eating the baked goods. The brownies you ate were from my mom for my birthday. My wife has not cooked anything that good for years, and if she does, she will not share. 10. Try shifting your weight when you sit in my chair. The recliner that I rarely have time for, soccer games and practice, basketball camp for the kids, takes so much of my time, and I try to help with schoolwork too. The chair has a grove in it, and it forces me to roll to the left. Lastly, I would like to thank you for taking her to lunch on Valentine's Day. She was not as hungry as usual and only ordered one meal. I may be able to use the money I saved to take the children to a movie. I hope you can help me with some of these items. It may become awkward if I have to confront her. If you can do this for me, I will give you a heads up when I will be gone and for how long, so that you don't feel rushed. P.S. I am going to take the kids to Great Wolf Lodge on the 3rd of April for 4 days. I have a bottle of vodka above the fridge if you find yourself low on beer. Thanks.
Whoa. Whoa.
Goodness.
Whoa.
That's...
Whoa.
ooh.
That's an oof, indeed.
Oh. Oh my god.
Alright. I say Caleb, you read one, I'll read another one, and then we'll all be down to 3, okay?
All down to 1, you mean?
Yeah, we'll all be down to 1, sorry.
Alright. Here we go. Let's... Boop. This one's called GameStop Girl. I want to kill robotic zombie terrorists with you.
I almost picked this one. I'm so glad I didn't.
Dearest GameStop Girl, when I walked into your store that fateful Tuesday, I expected only to find a smattering of half-decent titles tucked back there amongst the used 360 games. Instead, I found you surrounded by a beam of light halfway between Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty 3. Your gorgeous dark hair was radiant in contrast with the rainbow of colors on the deluxe BioShock behind you. The game of the year held no interest for me when I saw you look up and smile, even though both could hold me in rapture. You commanded the register when it was my turn to check out with the orange box. Yes, I was finally getting to play Portal. Lucky me, you said, with the cutest smile. Lucky me, I thought, and then knew you had the portal to my heart. I could care less if the cake is a lie. I'd still want to share it with you.
Oh my god.
Oh, GameStop girl, how you make my heart meter skip a beat. If you were being held captive in a mountain fortress by a ruthless mutant mafia gang boss and I had to fight my way through 16 levels of fire-breathing undead ninjas with swords the size of small ponies, I would find a way. Even if, after every level, a small man continued to taunt me by saying that you were in another castle. Even if. So yes, GamerStop girl, GameStop girl, I want to kill robotic zombie terrorists with you, and you can even have the deluxe shotgun with explosive scatter shot. I'll just use this knife over here. I'll do anything for you, just for the small, slightest chance that someday, you and me will be a we.
Wonderful.
What a
That
true gamer.
That was truly great.
I'm saving my last one, my best one for last for sure. This one's gonna be a hit or miss. I feel. I think it's funny, just the way it's written.
Alright.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to link it, right?
Yeah.
This is called "Shocked by My Cucumber."
Oh god.
Look, English cucumbers go for $1.50 each at the Midvale Harmons on 7th East. That's right, each. So while you were standing next to me gawking as I tried to find the biggest individually shrink-wrapped English cucumber, I thought I would just politely explain why I was being so picky. It struck me as afterwards that you might have been a bit traumatized, Mr. 3 cans of Rockstar energy drink, 4 donuts, and 1 tub of potato salad, after I told you that size really does matter, you know.
Oh god.
$1.50 each. That means I pay the same for a short, stubby one, a crooked, bumpy one, a long, firm one, a soft, mushy one, an average-length, chubby one. So yes, if I pay the same no matter what, I wanted a long, chubby, firm English cucumber for the money. Thank you very much. But if you aren't too traumatized from our interaction, I'm single, and I'm guessing you are too, Mr. 3 cans of Rockstar, 4 donuts, and 1 tub of potato salad. Come on over and I'll feed you. Care for a salad? I can omit the cucumber.
Wow.
Okay.
That was if you don't get the if you missed one line of that, it wouldn't have been funny at all. There's like one defining line, and that was the size does matter.
Mm.
Okay, so we're all down to one. How we? Okay, we'll go Alex, Caleb, me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex. Let's see it.
Okay.
Let's see your last one.
Okay.
What if we all had the same last one?
I would be shocked. My last one's really funny.
I got a pretty good one. Okay.
Oh my god. Yours is actually close to mine. I thought it was mine for a second.
This one is called Dumpster Lover.
Oh.
Are we ready?
Yes.
I was running from an alien. I jumped into an alleyway dumpster to hide, and you were there napping. And I woke you up. We shared something out of your flask, and we laughed and talked about comets coming our way and grilled cheese. You called yourself Blump.
Bump.
But I had to go poop, so I went to the gas station down the road. And when I came back, you were gone. Just wanted to make sure the alien didn't track my scent and find you instead. Hope you are well. Meet me at the dumpster behind McDonald's tomorrow for lunch.
Oh my god, dude.
Location.
The first sentence is
dumpster.
the first few words are so like shocking but you get thrown off by the whole dumpsters thing. I was running from an alien. That's so crazy, but I completely forgot about it until it was brought up later with the I hope the alien didn't track down my scent.
Magical.
I also like to add that like how underneath the whole story, it also has to put the location dumpster.
Yes, as if like that helps at all, dude. That's a good one. That was a good one. We should rank our top 3 at the end.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Caleb.
All right. Let me just boop and then do a swoop. Here we go. This one's called Graveyard Vigilante Slayer.
Oh, I almost chose this one.
I knew we were meant to be the moment you said Hillary Clinton was a lizard person. I didn't care that you liked wearing socks with your flip-flops or that you dress in all black leather. I didn't judge you for being hashtag Team Edward or Bernie. Truth is, you make me laugh to the point my chapped lips bleed. As I lay at night awake writing in my pink and purple My Little Pony journal, I snuggle up to my waifu pillow and wish it was you. I vision you standing there with your Fabio hair blowing in the wind. In one hand you have a hammer, and in the other is a pack of vagina dental dam.
Dang.
You will probably never see this, but if you do, ride off with me in the sunset on my George Jetson mop. Come live life together on a farm, breeding horses simulation style. I will never force you to drink crappy drinks like Bud Light. And we can have pet rats and train them to do cool tricks.
That was so all over the place.
It's like they were on acid.
There was too many details in this.
What on earth?
They are so specific of things like the My Little Pony journal and the George Jetson mop.
No one writes quite like the people who write in these ads.
These are like a new breed of human.
Alright.
It's like these are like some of the best stories you could ever hear. Like they're better than like people like Stephen King writing a horror book.
That was crazy, dude. Alright. For my last story, sexiest trash man ever. I know you probably get this a lot, but you are the hottest garbage man I have ever seen. Every Tuesday I wait at my window desperately at 8 a.m. waiting for you. I love your strong muscles. But it doesn't matter how heavy my waist is. You have no problem lifting it. Sometimes I hide bricks in there just so I can see your sweaty big muscles in real action. You may know my house specifically because I always leave my old lingerie lying on top of all my other trash. I put it out there for you. I want you to have them. Don't worry. I spray a little perfume on them before I toss them so they don't smell anymore. Anyway, if you like what you see in my trash, come inside sometimes. There will be plenty more of where that came from. Love, your secret admirer. P.S. I'm single with no kids. All the diapers are from my grandmother who lives with me.
Oh my god. Location, my trash can. Oh my god.
Oh, that was pretty good.
So, there are definitely some very interesting characters on Craigslist, I have to say.
Oh my god, yes.
That was so good.
And that was just like, 12 or 13 or so out of like the website that has like 1,000 on them or so.
It's crazy, dude.
The
There's so
best
many.
of.
There's no way that we found the best one quite yet.
No.
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm gonna open these up myself. I'm gonna pick out my top 3. You guys should do the same. I'm pretty sure I know what my number 1 contender is, honestly.
Oh, this one's hard.
Oh god. Alright, I got my top 3. just ordering them. Oh God.
Alright, I think I have my top 3.
All right, let's go through our number 3s. Okay, I'll start us off.
Hold on. I'm debating between
Okay,
a
sure.
couple.
Sure. We'll all go through our 3s, our 2s, and then our 1s, and we'll go into some detail why we picked these for what we did. This was an interesting experiment, I will say, at the very least. I
Okay.
feel like we should do this again. Okay,
I agree.
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. For my number 3 pick, it was To the Woman Who Danced in My Pee and Stepped on My Heart. This was... It's in the title what happened, but it's written so eloquently that it's just... Out of all of them, this might be the masterpiece in writing, but it lacks the shock value of my other picks. There is no plot because it's all in the title. It's like reading a story that says, and I do have a story, a book called this, the main character dies at the end. That's essentially what this was. To the Woman Who Danced in My Pee and Stepped on My Heart. It's pretty much all there. I like how the author came back at the end and decided that they wanted to love this person. I thought that was romantic. It was a good ending. It made a reference to R. Kelly, which is always a plus for me. I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Caleb?
Alright. So my number 3 pick was Seen You Eating Cat Food. For how short it is an absolute work of art. I gotta say, it gets me. It's like, okay, this person's eating cat food, but they were using a fork. So, I don't know. It's just, it baffles me. And I'm giving this one also like an 8 out of 10.
Awesome. Alex, what about you, buddy?
I have to agree on Caleb. My number 3 pick is Seeing You Eating Cat Food. I love it. It's just so what kills me is that it just goes Seeing You Eating Cat out of the can.
It's so simple yet so amazing.
Exactly. It's so simple yet it is just so funny, and it just makes you wrap your mind around it. Like, was this person huddled around a can eating cat food out of a can with a fork?
Caleb, do you have your voice mod on?
I can get it on real quick. Why?
You should get a dramatic voice and read Seeing You Eating Cat Food.
Alright. I'll see what I can do.
What rating are you giving cat food, Alex?
I have to agree. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10s across the board.
It's good. I love it. It's fantastic.
While Caleb gets his Seeing You Eating Cat Food voice tested out, I have to agree personally. Seeing You Eating Cat Food is great, and that's why it's going in my number 2 pick. It's so short yet so shocking. It packs so much punch into every word and every sentence, and it really makes you wonder, like, the true meaning behind this. Seeing you eating cat food out of a can. You was using a fork. Looks like you got some manners. it's the broken English that gets me humor wise. It's the you looks like you got some manners. And it ties it up so well. It lets us know what the author is feeling.
Right.
We can visualize it, but the author finishes it with his thoughts. I like that.
Right.
And it's great. I have to give it a 9 out of 10. It's amazing. All right, Caleb, let's hear it. Let's hear Seeing You Eating Cat Food.
All right. Seeing you eating cat food. I seen you eating cat food out of a can. You was using a fork. Looks like you was got some manners. I like that.
Give this man a Oscar.
Oh my god, that's good.
Okay. So what's your number 2 pick, Caleb?
Oof. My number 2 pick. Let's see. So, another one that was kind of simple, but really just kind of, I was like, okay. What was the to my neighbor who I saw pooping in his yard yesterday? just the man who was pooping in a groundhog hole. And I just really liked how he said that he read about it online. It's one of those things. I can just imagine for some reason, like my neighbors doing this.
Yeah, you got some weird neighbors.
I definitely have some strange neighbors. Oh, you know what I should do? I should find the one about the feet guy who lives near me.
There's a guy in his neighborhood. And what's he doing?
He's looking from people between. He's looking specifically for males between the age of 18 to like 50, and he just wants to rub their feet.
You know he wants to go younger. He just knows that might put him on some watch list.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But what scares me is it shows on the map where it's at, and I am sadly in that circle. So.
And within that age group too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah. Great.
I think for the sake of the podcast, you should take him up on the offer and videotape it. I just think it'd be priceless.
I think
I would fund it.
I think I would be kidnapped in a van and taken to Africa.
I'll just sit outside the house and make sure everything's cool. Everything's cool.
Everything's gonna go okay.
We're gonna get the footage we need, and it's gonna upload straight to Google Docs.
Great.
Or Google Drive.
Google Docs.
All right. What's your number 2? Oh, what's your rating for that, Caleb?
Oh, the pooping in his yard.
Yeah.
That one, I would honestly say it's probably just like an 8.5 out of 10, but still higher than the cat food one.
Cat food.
Well, I don't know.
Right.
They're like on the same plane of existence. You know what I mean?
They are pretty good. All right, Alex.
Well, it was a tough choice, but I had to go with my second choice, being to the woman who danced in my pee and stepped on my heart.
Bravo. And
what got me is that it's so elegant, and it's just like we've all seen a drunk guy peeing in public before, right? We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen it. But this guy takes it a step further.
You cut out for me. What did we see?
I said we've all seen a drunk guy peeing in public before. We all have.
I've definitely seen my neighbors outside just,
I mean, I peed in public once. I'm drunk.
Wait,
but
did you say you were drunk?
I was not. Sorry, my end's cutting out really bad. I'll just let Alex go on.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. And it's just the elegance of just thinking, this man took a leak, and the drunk girl with him decided to dance and pee in it, like, singing and dancing in the rain.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
And what makes it even better is that he references R. Kelly.
Thank you.
And just thinking that after all of this, after he's experienced all of this, he's like, I'm into pee. Or what was it? Like, I'm down with pee.
I'm down with pee.
I've been thinking about it. I'm down with pee.
That's the title of the episode. It has to be I'm down with pee.
It's just, it gets me just thinking, I'm down with pee.
Oh, God.
that goes like that needs to be put on a plaque somewhere. I'm down with P.
I want that on a
Drunk
shirt.
guy at 3 a.m.
Actually, I don't want that on a shirt. That's gonna give me some bad vibes.
People are gonna walk up and they're gonna be like, "So, when did you find out?"
So I hear
You know
you're
what, guy-
down with P.
After reading this Craigslist ad, I think I'm down with P, guys. I think I'm up for it.
Maybe we should all be down with P.
But
Just-
not together. Never together.
Yeah, never cross the streams. We're down with P separately. Okay, we
And
have
we only-
boundaries.
And we only lock eyes because it's less gay.
We got it. Oh my god.
If you look down, you gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
God, this is just made me think back to our last podcast. We were talking about like the guy code. No one can pee next to each other. I just imagine we're all in a line. Just we're spaced out still, but just all looking at each other,
respecting our distance.
Sorry, guys. I put mine over my shoulder. We're gonna have some issues.
Oh. Oh goodness.
All right, my number one pick. I mean, it was without a doubt for me. I would be shocked if at least one of you didn't. If honestly, I think both of you are gonna have this number one. But if not, oh well. Well, then number one, your PP pick cured my breast cancer. I mean, what is not to love about this? It's exciting. It's kind of scandalous. It kind of gives me what's that one? That one fan fiction book, the gray one, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Oh.
And it gives me those vibes so hard. I never read it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this is just blows it out of the water. Okay, it's just from sentence to sentence, you're on the edge, thinking, what's gonna happen in this romance story? It's heartbreaking. It's exciting. It's magical, is what it is. A woman was cured of her breast cancer when a kind of pervy man sent her a picture of his penis. And I love the part that says, "Hey, you there? Yo, what up? Did you like it? Hey, want more? Hey, it's me. How are you?"
God.
And she dropped her phone in the toilet. What a tragic rising action. It was rising action. You were excited. And in the climax, she dropped the phone into the toilet with her pee and her poop. And a rushing yet sad pace to the end. I'm giving this an 11 out of 10. There is never going to be quite as an amazing of a story on Craigslist. Never. Thank you.
Yes. I agree. For my number one pick, I also chose your pick cured my breast cancer. It has everything you'd want in a story. It starts off slow, there's a love interest, and then there's a climax, both story-wise and literally. And of course, this happens all with saxophones in the background. And my favorite phrase in here is deluxe, gigantic, and then the S word. It's definitely a wonderful play to play this card into the story. Instantly boosted my approval of the story through the roof. And then just the faulty quotes, which I don't know if they're real, but if they are, this story gets another extra 20 million points. And I like how there's a maybe real, possibly fake, but I would say it's probably real explanation that, of course, the peach hue of the phone sends out an extreme amount of radiation. I think altogether, this is an incredible story, and I would like to know where this is at today, if she ever found the man. But yes, for me, this is infinity out of 10.
Amazing. Good review. Good review. All right, Alex.
I'm gonna have to agree.
I knew it.
Agree with everybody else. This story is fantastic. Like as Caleb said, there's like a beginning. There's multiple climaxes.
I think I might have climaxed reading this story.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's how great it is.
It's really great. It's fantastic. It really is. And then that end, that's really like it's like, like one of those, like she's walking off into the sunset. You are my hero, my guardian angel. I love you. Sincerely, Diane. That just
Diane.
It's like it's better than like every ending to like any story you could have ever thought. Like this puts like Stephen King to shame.
It's realistic. That's the thing that every other story would never have. Is this story was realistic. She dropped her phone into the peen poop. No movie character would have ever done that. No author would have ever taken that.
Exactly.
The fact that this is nonfiction really let the author bring this to a point where we could all kind of feel it. We all know someone with cancer. We all can really feel with this girl on the same hand. We've all seen it. We've all seen a pee-pee. We understand the feeling you get when you see it. It's great.
Sorry.
I was going to say, my only thing I want to know now, and I hope we get a sequel, is did she ever validate the parking at Sheila at the desk? Did she ever go there?
Damn it.
It's a cliffhanger. It's a perfect cliffhanger. It allows you to like be like, you want more. And that's what every great story does. It leaves you wanting more.
It really does. Like they should write this. And like a couple things that really made me love this story was first the of course it was first gotta be the deluxe gigantic shit.
I love that.
Yes.
Great addition.
It's gotta be one of my favorites. The other one is the guy that another one that is it was here my doctor put his hand on my shoulder and gave it to me straight. That man was not a man. That was an angel, my lady. And God often God sends angels to do that because he knows what makes us happy.
I like how outright she was with it's like the only thing that changed was this man sent me, like, the fact that she made that connection was not only ingenious but just it was beautiful. She really let the reader know what was going on in her head by being so clear.
It really was. And the other thing that really got me was your breast cancer is totally cured, judging by the tests we have done with our fancy medical equipment and group of Asian people in the labs.
You know, when the second doctor comes in and says, I am too a doctor, and confirm everything he is saying, it's almost straight out of a movie. I could see this being a movie. And
this should be a movie.
Cameo. He would be cameoed. The second doctor would be cameoed by
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Oh, yes.
Brad Pitt should do it. And Leonardo DiCaprio should play the first doctor.
Ah, yes.
And the person who should play this woman, Diane, should be Jennifer Aniston.
Great.
I can see it. I can actually see it.
And we need her to say, I had taken a deluxe gigantic shit.
Rachel from Friends says that. Dude. Oh, God. Okay.
I will give this story all the money I have in the world.
I agree. Well,
it needs to be made into a novel, a screenplay.
On today's episode of the podcast, we talked about, briefly, Honey Boo Boo's mom being on crack. And I have an update for you guys.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I do have an update. I am sad to announce that Mama June has overdosed from crack cocaine.
Wait, really?
Wait,
No,
really?
not really.
Oh,
I was concerned. Not Mama
I was-
Crack.
I'm concerned that Mama June just died.
Wow.
But I think it's interesting. I'll say this for myself before I wrap up. You guys can say whatever you want to say. But Mama June lost. Mama June, she lost 300 pounds.
Wow.
I know she had a gastric bypass, whatever, the gastronomy or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, oh god, they had a documentary, like a 10 episode or so documentary, and she put in some hard work. And it's sad to see that all her hard work has gone down the drain because Mama June decided to spend all her Hollywood movie on crack.
She gotta stay thin somehow.
Is there anything you guys want to add before we wrap up this podcast?
Well, I just, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional over this this breast cancer thing again. Sorry.
It's gonna be overtaking me in the night. I'm gonna have dreams about it. I'm really not gonna be able to sleep well.
It's gonna happen. We all know this.
Yep. If I ever get breast cancer, guys, will you guys send me penis pics?
That's what the homies would do.
Arming a true homie.
we gotta send you some to cure you.
Thank you guys.
Angels.
As long
guys
as
are
we
real.
send no homo beforehand, it will mean that it cancels out and that it's perfectly clear. Okay, it's
perfectly okay.
it's safe.
It is A-okay.
Just homies helping homies. Okay.
Homies helping homies with breast cancer.
Yes.
All right.
We just gotta remember that never trust people on Craigslist.
Oh gosh, no. All right, well that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of the podcast. Thank you for anyone who might listen. I know there's no one out there. It's like living on Mars. But maybe one day people will look back when we are famous and they'll listen to these crappy quality podcasts and they'll listen to these Craigslist stories. They'll laugh, they'll cry, and maybe they might unsubscribe. But until next time, keep it real for the homies. Goodbye.
Stay safe.
And don't forget to take a deluxe gigantic poop.
Hey, can we do the Friends theme all together as you fade it out? On
Yes.
on three. We'll all do it. 1, 2, 3. No one told you life was gonna be this way. I said clap. Oh God.